Welcome to the Daily Podcast. My name is Michelle Sinclair. I am a divine healer, meaning I help people heal from emotional or physical issues very quickly, usually a couple of sessions, sometimes not even that many. Anyways, what we're going to be talking about today is following your heart and the difference between that and not doing that. It's huge. And so very first, when we start here, I want you guys to just kind of tune into your heart space. And I want you to imagine here that you were doing something every single day that was bringing life and joy and excitement into your heart space. So whatever it is that you really like to do, so imagine, you're doing this, you get to do it every single day. What a wonderful, wonderful thing that is. Now, when or if you could get into that frequency of that heart space, you would notice that it's really uplifting. It's filled with happiness, with joy, with laughter, with good and wonderful things. And it brings a lot of positivity and happiness, obviously, right? We're connected to our heart. So what then happens when we are not connected to our heart? And when we're like, oh, I'm connected to this thing of I need some money, or I'm connected to this other thing, something that is not your heart, and let's say that you were having to do that every day, right? That you had to go, and now your focus is, I need to make some money, so I'm going to go and do this thing that I'm not passionate about, that I do not love, that I don't even care about, but it's getting me the result that I want. What would that feel like in your energy to have that every day? I don't know, you might get complacent, you might not really notice it, and you would probably just get used to that kind of energy. You just get used to it. Because we are what we are. And here's the thing. If you could tune into that space inside of your heart and pursue that thing that is speaking and calling to your heart, what would that do for you in your life? I'm going to bet that it would change everything for you. Because if you could go to a job every day where you're just putting the love and your passion and your desire and your all the good stuff into that work or whatever it is that you're doing, if you could put that out there and you could have that every day, think about the vibrations that would be held in that energetic field, which would be your energetic field, but that would be powered by your heart space. That would be huge. That would be massive. Now, I've met people like this before, right? They're nice to listen to. When they're saying things, you're like, man, I like listening to them. I like being around them. So I'm thinking of this one man. I met him at a psychedelic conference several months ago, and when he got up there to speak, his name is Brian Hubbard. You could look him up. Man, he's something. When he got up there to speak, there was not one person in that place that was not captivated by what that man was saying. Because he was coming at it from such a space of passion and truth and love that there was not one person in there that could deny that what he was saying was the truth. Because we could feel it, every single one of us on this energetic level. And after he was done speaking, people are like, wow, that was something. Flash forward a couple weeks ago, he was on the Joe Rogan podcast. Seen that coming? Because what a powerful man. What a powerful man. Now, why? Because he was coming at it from his heart space. He was speaking about something that he was passionate about, something that personally had affected him in his life, and something that he knows that he needs to push forward. He's got this drive about what he was speaking about because he knows that he needs to do something about it. So this man going up there and speaking, all that we were witness to was his heart's resonance. That is what everybody was experiencing, feeling. And so we all knew what he's saying. Not only is it true, but it's right and it's good and it's wonderful. And everybody was in that same space at that time when he was talking, because we were all captivated by the energy that he was putting out, because that energy was powered by his heart space. So now, what happens when you've got somebody and they are not living by their heart? And they are not powering their words through their heart. Well, it's quite obvious, right? You might tune out, you might not even listen to them, you might not care about what they had to say. But the reason why is because of the energy, because at the core of it, the vibration that person is putting out is received energetically by all those who listen. So let me give you an example of this. Now, what Brian was speaking about was ibogaine. Now, this is a very beautiful sacrament that has been known to heal people. Like, I'm talking, you do it, you're healed from whatever it happens to be. This is a beautiful thing. But he could have been spoken about it, and he could have, not him, somebody else could have spoken and used his exact same words. But because that person, if they were not personally invested and if they were not him, and they were not speaking from their heart space, and they're just, getting up on stage, here's some words that I need to read. If they were to deliver us that exact same word for word speech, it would not have been received the same way. Because it would not have been coming from the heart space. It would have been coming from the mind and the mouth. And that has a different resonance. It feels completely different. So, when you are speaking to somebody, let's say that you had something that you needed to relay to somebody and you really want them to get on your side about something. Well, the best way that you could do that is to truly speak honestly from your heart, because if you lie, people pick it up, they feel it, they feel the white lies, they feel the black lies, they feel it all, whether they say it, whether they speak it or not. It's picked up in the energetic system. There's a huge difference between the lie and the truth, energy speaking. Because the deliverer of those words knows it's a lie. And so they attach a very specific vibrational frequency to it. And so someone who's really energetically perceptive, or even somebody who's maybe not, will pick up on that. They'll be able to tell. But if you want to speak to somebody, if you want to get something across, the only thing you need to do is speak from your heart, and they're going to be able to feel it. Because they're going to be able to feel that energetic passion, that fire. But what it really is that they're going to feel is the vibration of the resonance of your heart. And it's powerful. It is a powerful vibration. Now, think about this for a second. If you were to tune into that heart space, let's say you wake up in the morning, you start your day by meditating. Okay, so you're sitting there like, meditating, getting into your heart space. Okay, and when you get into that heart space, and as soon as you get into that place, and you'll know, because you'll feel this feeling of like laughter, or joy welling up within you. And as soon as you get into that space in your heart, and then envision, make a blueprint for your day. Envision your day and every interaction that you have to have in your upcoming day, living out of your heart space. What a beautiful thing, and what a wonderful thing you would be doing for every person that you encounter in your day, because you've already preset it up that every person that you're going to run into, they're going to feel your heart, they're going to be blessed by your heart, and they're going to get all this wonderful goodness. And so all you're doing is putting more goodness into the world by allowing this and by doing something like this. Not even leaving the house till you're in your heart space. How many of us do that? I bet nobody. I bet nobody who's listening to this could put up their hand and say, oh, I do that every day. I bet you don't. Why? Because it's just not something that we do. It's not something we've even thought of doing. But when you can do that, when you do this, it will change your frequency. It will change the vibration, the resonance that you have in your body, because you will constantly be reminding yourself, right, go back to your heart. Go back to your heart. Be led by your heart. Be led by your heart, because it's going to pull you in the places where you're meant to be. That's why it's there, because it's guiding you. It's showing you the way. Now, what happens if you've been ignoring your heart for a real long time? Well, probably you're going to have some chaos in your life. I'll bet that much. But if you have not been following your heart and you've been following the mind. Now, the mind plays tricks on us all the time. It does. It can make you believe anything you want. I kind of compare the mind to the Bible. You can make it say literally anything you want. We got all these different religions and they all came out of the same book. How is that even possible? Why? Because you can make it say whatever you want it to say. But your heart cannot lie. It's going to feel a certain way, and there's nothing you could do about it. I mean, you could try to talk your heart out of certain things, but why would you want to do that? That would be ridiculous. Why would you do that? So let's say that you're passionate about something. Maybe you're passionate about spirituality, like myself. and you've got this burning desire in you to share all the knowledge that you have, and you just want to get out there and all you want to do is share it, but you want to share it from your heart space. Well, it's going to be felt differently when you're sharing things from your heart than when you're just sharing them from your mouth and your mind. So how do you do this? Well, first of all, you need to be aware of if you maybe have any heart blocks, because many of us do. Many of us do. In fact, I'll probably make a video for that. And we did this one about clearing energetic attachments the other day, a little practical exercise we'll do on that for clearing the heart space too. But why would that be there? Now, let's say you have a block in your heart. Now, let me tell you about this. So we have our chakras that go down the front of us, but we also have chakras that go down and up the back of us as well. Now, behind us is receiving and forward is giving. So if you have a heart chakra and it's blocked, it might be blocked in the front if you are not giving from your heart, or it might be blocked in the back if you are afraid of receiving this love. But what is going to happen is, so just imagine this, that you've got the most beautiful melody that is coming out of this piano. Oh, it's just so beautiful. And it's like the sweetest, nicest sound. But somebody goes and they stick something in the back of this piano and it blocks some of the sound. So you can still hear it, but all of a sudden it's kind of distorted, it's changed a little bit, and it is not how it was meant to be. And the beauty of it has kind of been taken away. It's still there, but it's muffled and it's just not quite right. This is what happens when we block our heart space, or when it's been blocked. And let me tell you, most of us don't intentionally do this, but sometimes we do actually intentionally do this. If we've been hurt or we've been harmed in the past in a relationship or something like that, we might put up a block and be like, that's never happening again, and we put a block up, and then we cannot give it and we cannot receive it, and we're not going to feel real good. But many of us will go for years and years and years, and maybe the rest of our life with it blocked, because we feel like we need to protect ourselves for some reason. But what is happening when we're doing this is we are blocking all of the love and all of the goodness that is meant to flow to us. Not only that, but we are blocking all the love and all the goodness that is meant to go from our heart to other people. So we're actually damaging other people, not just ourselves. We think, oh, I'm just going to protect myself. And maybe you don't care about the other people, but I certainly do. But we're damaging other people when we put these blocks up, to protect ourselves. We're causing damage. So to remove them is the most valuable thing that we could do, because it's going to let us passionately move forward and get driven towards our purpose. Now, I'm not saying that there's no purposefulness in our heart being blocked, because temporarily, if we've put up a wall, if we've put up some kind of blockage, maybe unknowingly or knowingly around our heart, it will serve a purpose. There'll be some lessons that we need to learn around it, like, wow, we sure suffer when our heart's blocked off, or something like that. There will be some lessons that will come from it. So it's, don't get down on yourself if it's been blocked, and whatever, man, it was supposed to be that way. But you can unblock it, and then it's going to change things, because as long as that is blocked, it is not just going to be blocked in one area. So let's say that, somebody hurt you real bad in a relationship. Been there, done that. Let's say that happened to you, and so you blocked that off. Now, as you block it off, you are not just blocking it towards, another person coming in. But what you're doing is you are blocking that resonance, that vibration of your heart, and it will affect every single area and everything in your entire life. Because your heart's frequency is beautiful. It's just beautiful, and it's got these beautiful waves that come out, and as these waves go out, it grabs onto things and pulls them back to you and brings these beautiful, soft, wonderful things to your heart to just warm and soften your heart. It will bring these things to you, but what it's doing is it is returning to you what you put out. Now, let's say you had a bad relationship and you gave somebody all kinds of love and they didn't give it back to you. They were cold to you, or whatever it is that happened there, they didn't give it back to you. And you feel like, oh, well, that was wasted. Well, darling, it was not wasted, because everything that you put out, which through electromagnetism, it comes back to you. Now, it doesn't mean it's necessarily going to come back from that person. We don't get to choose. We're not in control of that. But when you put it out, it's going to go out. It's going to be picked up by somebody that's like, ooh, I like that. It's going to be received by them. And at some point, maybe 10, 15 years in the future, who freaking knows, man? maybe 2 years, maybe 1 month, maybe 2 minutes, I don't even know. But whatever it is, somebody's going to pick up on that vibe and they're going to say, ooh, I want that. And then they're going to magnetize. They're going to magnetize themselves into your life somehow, just because this is how it works, because this is just, all 3D, all 5D. It just, things line up how they're supposed to, It's like, well, you need to go out there and you need to do this and do that so that you can meet these people and meet those people. I'm telling you, dude, if you're supposed to meet someone today and they're supposed to come into your life on a certain day, you'll meet them at Walmart. It doesn't matter. You're going to meet that person. Doesn't matter where you're at. But all that love that you put out that you maybe felt was wasted on somebody else, it's not wasted on somebody else. It went out there and it's going to be returned back to you. It's going to be. This is facts, people. 100% of the time, it's going to come back to you. But when it doesn't come back to us right now in this minute, because I put it out right now in this minute, then sometimes we think, oh, all hope is lost. And then we change our belief system around it. And we think, oh, I'm not lovable. Oh, these things aren't meant for me. Whatever it is that we think about those things. And what happens when we change our beliefs is that we manifest those beliefs. So all that love that you put out there, it's just sitting out there, it's just waiting in equilibrium to come back to you. But because you've now put up blocks and walls around that, these beliefs that you have of, I don't deserve it, I'm not worthy of it, it's never going to come to me, or whatever it happens to be, whatever the things are, you're now blocking it from coming to you. And it doesn't mean that it's not going to come to you in the future, or that it's a missed opportunity. That is not what that means at all. It just means it can't come to you right now. It cannot come to you because your heart is closed off. And if you sent this vibration out, it needs to come back at that same vibration. And it cannot do that if you're closed or blocked off. Now, I know relationships can be difficult. Trust me. Been there, done that. I know it. Experienced it. And it can cause a lot of hurt and it can cause a lot of pain. But what else can come from that is the most beautiful, wonderful thing. Healing. Why? Because it hurts so bad. You don't have a choice. You have to heal it. And through having to heal it or just kill yourself, you have to dig really freaking deep, and you've got to own a whole bunch of things that maybe you didn't even want to look at or that you didn't even want to acknowledge in your life. But through healing those things, you remove those heavy, dense energies and you replace them with the truth and with the light and with these light, beautiful energies, and it then changes your life. So even these difficult things that we go through, they are the blessing, but only if you allow them to be the blessing. Because you could have a blessing come to you and you could just crap on it and be like, that's not a blessing or whatever, and it's going to go away from you. And now that doesn't mean it's not going to come back again in the future. That same thing's not going to come back. Something else might come. It will come, but if you're still blocked off, you won't even see it. You won't even acknowledge it. It might be there right in front of you and you're going to be like, what? I don't see a thing, because you're blocked off. Now, when you block your heart off, it's going to affect every single area of your life. But the biggest thing it's going to affect is you as a person and your happiness and your now lack of joy. It's affecting you in this way when your heart is blocked. So how do we remove it? Well, we can do this subconsciously. And now some people, they put up walls, and then they put up cages around those, and then they put up a nice stone wall around that, and they've got all kinds of layers of protection around them, stuff that they think is helping them when really it's actually just causing more harm. Because you're only here for a certain amount of time, my darling. And so if you don't get it together, the time is going to be up and you're going to be like, oh, dang it, I've wasted all this time with myself completely closed off, and all those things that I was supposed to achieve and accomplish and experience while I was here, I didn't get to do it because I was too afraid. And if we're living in the fear, well, we're not living in the light. That's the only you got the choice. You can live in the fear, or you can live in the love. You can live in the darkness, or you can live in the light. Same thing. That's the only choices that you got. And if you are having a closed off heart, it is because you do not trust in the divine. It's because you do not trust. You might be like, no, I don't trust other people. No, I don't trust myself. No, darling, you don't trust in the process of life, and this life was given to you by the great divine. And because you don't trust in this process of life, you're going to hide, you're going to have all kinds of problems come up, you're going to recluse yourself, and it's just going to create all kinds of problems for you, because you cannot accomplish and achieve your purpose here on earth if you're just going to sit in your bedroom and watch TV all day. You're not going to achieve none of the things you're supposed to do. Then you're going to die, and you're going to go up, and you're going to be like, dang it, I had all these plans. This is why I came here. I was supposed to achieve this and this and this, but that one thing happened back then, and it made me close myself off and shut myself down, and I didn't do none of it. Now I got to come back again and do this all again, and I know next time it's going to be even more challenging. So you have a choice. Follow your heart's resonance and live in that way, and choose the laughter and the joy and the happiness, or just listen to your head. And it's going to throw 7 different kinds of smoke at you at one time, right? It's going to tell you, oh, this could be the outcome. Oh, this could be the outcome. Well, this could be the outcome. Well, this could... And it's going to tell you 75 different billion different things. Meanwhile, your heart's just saying, no, I want this. But you're ignoring your heart, and you're not listening to it. And so you're not doing the thing that your heart is guiding you to do. Now, here's the best thing that happens. When you unblock your heart and when you get into alignment with your heart, then listen to your heart and allow your mind to help you out with it. So when your heart's saying, hey, go and preach to the nations and spread the good word, and you're like, oh, that's all I want to do. And your mind is like, well, why don't you try using this platform? Why don't you try using that platform? And the two things are going to work together, and they're going to benefit you. That's how it's going to work. But let's say your heart's closed off and the mind is the only thing that's working. Well, your mind's still going to give you 75 different kinds of smoke, all these different kinds of scenarios, and you're going to follow it and you're going to listen to it, but you will never feel satisfied. You will never feel satisfied. This is why people are living in the mansions up on the hill, and they got billions of dollars, and they off themselves because they do not feel satisfied. Something feels like it's missing, and I will tell you what it is that is missing. It's the divine love, and the divine love starts with having your heart open, because that is what lets the love in. You can think about the love all you want. You can let that thought go in your mind, but if you cannot experience it and you cannot feel it, you will feel lacking, and you will not understand why, because nothing, and I'm telling you nothing will bring you any kind of satisfaction other than the love. And that love comes from the divine, and it's absolutely perfect and pure and beautiful and wonderful, and there's nothing about it that you will not love, because everything about it is perfect, pure love. It accepts you. It has zero judgment about you. It thinks that thing that you did that you're holding against yourself, it's like, dude, let that thing go. That doesn't even matter. That happened so you could learn this. That happened so you could learn that. That thing does not even matter. And not only that, but that helped these people out, and that helped that person out, and it helped everybody out. Even though you think it didn't, people maybe had to grow because you did something that harmed them. Perfect. They're going to grow. They're going to become more than what they were before it happened. So don't even hold these things against yourself that you've done in the past that you feel guilty about, because it all served a purpose. It was all there for a reason. And if that reason was because you were kind of a dick back then, well, let it be. Now you're not going to be a dick anymore, because you're like, hey, dang, I didn't like how that made me feel after I was a dick for such a long time. I didn't like that. Well, what happened after that? I bet you stopped being a dick, right? You learned from it. There was growth that came. Not only that, but the person that you were probably a dick to was like, man, I got to set up some boundaries. And you taught that person boundaries. And you taught that person self-worth, because they ain't putting up with nobody who's going to treat them like that anymore. So it was a gift, whatever it was that happened. No matter what it was. Maybe you were a parent and you feel like you weren't there enough. Whatever it happens to be, the children learned something from that. Maybe they learned how to be a better parent, or maybe they learned exactly what they do not want to do as a parent. No matter what, it's always a gift, because every single thing is from the Spirit. There is nothing that is not. So even though something's presented to you and you might look at it and be like, oh, I don't know, that's not real good, it is, because everything comes from the Spirit, and everything that comes from the Spirit is good. Now, I'm not saying that everything you've gone through in your life felt good, right? It didn't. The things I went through that were difficult and hard, they didn't feel good. I wouldn't consider them good, but I would consider them good now, because I see all the goodness that came from it. Had I not been married for how long I was and been treated the way that I was and living in an environment the way that I was, I would not be me today. So I don't hold 1 minute of resentment or anger or none of that stuff towards my ex. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to him, because it gained enlightenment for me, because I was so upset and resentful about what he had done and the way that he had betrayed me that I had to heal it or kill myself. Those were the only options that I had. And so, because they were the only options I had, and I had children, I had people depending on me, and I wasn't going to be that person to just end it all and give up so easily. I went and I had to heal, and because of that, I gained this enlightenment. And now not only can I help my clients like I did before, now I can help them powerfully to physically heal, to emotionally heal, whatever it is, because I've seen the light, and I would not have seen it had I not had to go through those things that I went through. Did I want to close my heart off? Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. When that happened, I was like, done, that's it. Well, first of all, never getting married again, that's for sure. Not doing this again, never trusting another man, never none of the things and all of the stuff. And then I realized, why would I let him win like that? Why would I allow somebody else to dictate how the rest of my life is going? Not going to happen, man. Not going to happen. And through the healing, I kept my heart open, and I've come to realize that it has to be open. Has to be. Sure, you got the potential for things to come in and hurt you, but you know what? They're going to hurt you either way, honey. You're either just going to deny it, or you're going to accept it and feel the pain and then work through it and then grow from it. But you are not actually protecting yourself by keeping your heart closed. All you're doing is causing yourself more damage, because you are not allowing that vibration of that love, which is the healing thing and the only healing thing, to come into your life. You're blocking it. Because if it's blocked, you can't give it, you can't receive it, you can't none of the things. Blocked. So you're limiting the goodness that could come into your life. And not only that, but whatever your purpose is, it is attached to your heart. This is how we're designed, so that when we come here, we feel this pull. We feel this pull, right? I love spiritual stuff. Like, what do I want to do? Study religions, study this and that. Why? Because it's just so freaking interesting. I want to see what other people think, because I know what I think, and I'm just so curious about it. That is my pull. That is my heart. That's me. But I know that I'm unique, and that I'm rare, and that most people, that's not their thing. That's maybe your thing, because you're listening to me here right now, which thank you for listening and tuning in. I love you all so very much. Thank you for being here. Truthfully, you're the best thing. I just love you. But whatever that thing is that you're so passionate about, that thing that pulls on your heart, and it's probably been there for a long time. It's there for a reason. It's there. It's speaking to you, and it is telling you things, and when you ignore it, or when you tell it to shut it, and you don't want to hear what it has to say, it's only going to cause you chaos, conflict, and problems, which I don't want any of those things in my life. And I'm sure that you don't either. And now that you're aware of this, you're probably thinking about things and thinking, oh, I wonder, you know what, I probably have closed my heart off. So what can you do about this? Well, first of all, I'll make a little video, just like I did for the energetic attachments the other day. But what you can do right now, because I haven't made that video yet, you can sit there and you can meditate and you can focus on your heart, and you will know if it's open or closed. And what you're going to do is you're going to have a little conversation with your beautiful heart, and you're going to say, hey dude, why are you closed? And it's going to tell you, well, because of this. And you say, okay, I understand that. You know, I know we went through it, and that we were really disappointed, and that we were really hurt, and that it made us want to close up. I understand it. And your heart's going to be like, yep. And then you're going to say, hey, but what we're doing now is we're blocking any goodness and all the love that wants to come to us. We're blocking it by being closed off, and I don't want this anymore. I know it might be scary to open up, but I feel like we need to do this. And your heart's going to be like, okay. Then you can envision those walls that you have around your heart, or whatever kind of block is there, and you're going to go in and remove it. And so you can remove it however you want. You could imagine you have a sledgehammer, and you're going to chip away at it. You could have got some dynamite. You could blow it up. You're using visuals here, darlings. And you're going to blow it up. You're going to get rid of it, and you're going to remove that block. And once it's gone, once you've blown it up, then I want you to just sit there in your heart space and just feel the freedom and the openness that is in there, and just be there for a couple minutes. Just sit there for a couple minutes and just feel what that feels like. And it's going to change things for you. Then I want you to check it again tomorrow. Then I want you to check it again the day after that. And I want you to check it again the day after that until you come back and you're like, nope, it's all good. Every time I come and check it, it's open now. And you're going to feel different in your life. Believe me, you will feel different. Have faith that you must and that you need to have your heart open. That's why you got it. That's why it's here. And that energy that goes out and gets sent out from your heart is the most beautiful energy in this world. It's the most beautiful thing in the whole world. If ever you've heard anything beautiful, it's because it came from somebody's heart. You ever hear a song that was so beautiful? It's because it came from their heart. You ever hear a text or a quote and it's just so eloquent and beautiful? It's because it came from somebody's heart. Every beautiful thing in this world comes from somebody's heart. So don't close off that beautiful thing that you have to offer to this world, because it is the beautiful thing. You're the beautiful thing. And you must share it with the world. So this is what I have for you guys here today. I love you all so much, and I'm sending you so much love from my heart right to yours. So I hope that you feel it, because I'm just going to charge it up here right now, and I'm just going to send it to you. There you go. That was from me to you. I love you all so much, my darlings. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, share this podcast episode with someone that you feel like needs to open up their heart, or maybe they've been heartbroken, maybe they've been hurt, and maybe it could help them in some way. I thank you guys so much. I love you all very much, and I will see you guys tomorrow. You guys take care.